So first, Lopa, I think the question of representation, who would be representing and so on. I think this is a matter of your internal arrangement. I think whenever a member is going, to either to New York in Geneva, your status has enough, let's say, spots, to bring a considerable number of delegates. At least 7. So, but this will depend on an internal talk we have among yourselves, and then but I think it should be okay in every case. Sensitive topics that are many, from all sides. Some regional members, they support, let's say, issues of SOGI, of violence against women. Others, they value issues relating to migration. That will depend, on the delegation with whom you're going to speak, and on the little research you do. Let's take Argentina. Argentina has some goals that you can speak freely with Argentina. They will help you, but if it's a topic Argentina is not very interested, they will say politely, okay, thank you for your time, and you do it. Let's see if there's an opportunity. So you just waste no time. But this depends, what is a sensitive topic. It will depend. You mentioned the issue of sexual violence against boys. So if there's a sense that if you're going to, let's say, speak about this issue on the plenary, it would be nice to have beforehand a talk, let's say, with like-minded countries, like, I don't know, a country that leads this initiative, in Geneva, to be at the plenary. If in a last case, you are blocked, or they stop you from speaking, that you have a friendly delegation to say, no, this organization has the right to speak. So it is interesting, that you have this backup. So on Fran's comment, yes, it's not the ECOSOC itself, but delegations, they normally prefer, to give even a deference to partners coming from the ground. I think you have, the whole potential to really even reinforce it, which is really great. On the punch, there is a mix of that affects all of us, of being productive, also being like emotional, because a more productive, let's say, trip to Geneva will be outside let's say, the Human Rights Council sessions, that are in March, July, and September. But it gives you that impression that this is so empty. You do a number of meetings, but it gives you that impression. On the other hand, the Human Rights Council sessions are packed. Sometimes flights are more expensive and so on, but it's really lively. You also learn, because you get a sense of, what is the daily life of the plenary session, meetings that are delayed, what are, what really fits to you. So if you have a chance of like, let's say, like doing 2 missions, you know, I would advise both, you know, one in a session and the other, you know, outside of this session period, you know. Also reminding that for the time being, I think this will be an experimented practice that now video recordings are accepted as oral statements. So you don't need, you know, to bring like a massive delegation. You can pick some members, you know, to also deliver statements, you know, from home, but with a recorded video. And I'm happy to discuss further with you on all other issues, you know. I think also it depends on the topic. You know, I have had experiences with, you know, peasant activists and also indigenous leaders, you know. Uh, I'm man and I'm white, you know, so I'm not interested at all, you know, in the sense of, you know, I'm just let's say a bureaucrat. So whenever I show off a bit, you know, and I show, you know, say, hey, uh, I kindly request the meeting to speak about this topic, you know, accompanying, you know, I'm accompanying our head of delegation, this chief tribe, you know, and then I give a few lines about, you know, who is this chief tribe and so on. So it becomes, you know, something uh, different from, you know, more of the same of Geneva lobbying things, you know. And these meetings, they are informal, you know, they are 15 meetings. I, I showed in one of the pictures, that's the serpent bar. Most of the meetings are there. You grab a sandwich and you speak, you know, because whenever you speak about the Geneva, it's a big diplomatic venue, but in the end, things are informal. You know? So yeah, I'm happy to discuss further if you have other questions and so on. So